Ah yes, another video about how to focus, posted on a platform literally designed to my attention span. Focus happens when a neural switch in your brain, controlled by the insula and by the anterior cingulate cortex, flips from the default mode circuit where your mind wanders to the central executive circuit where you tune out distractions. Focus is a skill, and we, that's me included, are bad at it. TikTokers put animated police chases under 1-minute videos. Learning apps are gamified to hell, and I have to put all these transitions in here just so you'll stick around long enough to maybe learn something. The good news is that focus can be improved. So using existing neuroscience research, I created a 30-day focus improvement plan for myself, and that's what this video is about. Before this, I had tried the fancy methods and the timer apps, and I know there's like AI scheduling things now, but for me, those never solved the root of the problem. And according to the research, that problem is multitasking. I multitask constantly when I'm cooking, when I'm eating. I even dominate Super Bowls whilst on the can. And the key to this is a part of your brain called the limbic system. In Ooga Booga caveman times, your limbic system's job was to constantly scan your surroundings for threats. Constant multitasking actually activates that limbic system. But now, instead of scanning for threats, it's scanning for stimulation. And here's the kicker, multitasking is addictive. Many addictions start as an escape from a negative stimulus. I found that I was multitasking to escape boredom. And over time, I became trapped in what scientists now call a pathological state of continuous partial attention. That means I was never 100% focused on anything because there was this part of my brain that was always scanning for other stimulation. This happens because multitasking activates that limbic system, which releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which activate a stress or anxiety response. Which makes sense, right? Like if you're getting hunted by a mountain lion, you want to be on edge. That's survival. But for anyone out there that's not a caveman, that stress and anxiety only hurts you. Recent studies show that constant multitasking can fry your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making and impulse control, which is probably important for like focusing on a task. Multitasking can also damage the parts of your brain responsible for that attention switch we talked about before. So it's not good. So what can we do? Well, Dr. Paul Mohapel wrote this paper about the neuroscience of focus and distraction. And in it, he talks about mindfulness as a way to improve or strengthen your focus. He also talks about how multitasking, specifically with digital distractions, will destroy your focus. Now, I don't know if you could tell this by looking at me, but I am not a meditator per se. I'm not even flexible enough to like do the pose. So I was skeptical. But it turns out that mindfulness doesn't have to be meditating. This isn't about aligning your chakras or your participation in Burning Man last year. Very cool. It's about being present. If multitasking is doing many things at once, then mindfulness is the opposite, doing one thing at a time. So for 30 days, I stopped multitasking. Now, I tried to record the number of times I got distracted so we could see if I got distracted less over time. But I found the act of recording distractions becoming distracting, so I was getting distracted by my own experiment about focus. All this to say, this is qualitative data. It's just how I feel. It's not very scientific, but we can still learn something, but I have to be transparent about the quality of data here. So, 30 days, no multitasking. I stopped watching TV while cooking. I stopped bringing headphones on my walks to the grocery store. I even stopped throwing 65-yard dots on the can. And at first, it totally sucked. But like anything, it got easier over time. I could hear myself think again. I also felt less stressed out all the time, which is awesome. And most importantly, near the end of the 30 days, I found myself far better at focusing for longer periods of time. So why does this work? Well, before the experiment, I was definitely in that state of continuous partial attention. I had trouble focusing because I was always searching for and flooding my brain with stimuli. And more than that, I was addicted to distractions as a way to escape boredom. The same way that your muscles get stronger with use, your neurons get better at sending and receiving signals when you use them. Mindfulness, which for me was just doing one task at a time, helped me practice holding concentration. I also noticed a few other things that helped me that weren't part of this experiment but are worth talking about. First, the executive circuit uses more energy than the default one. There is an actual metabolic cost to focusing. So you shouldn't expect yourself to focus for 10 hours a day. right? Even Usain Bolt doesn't sprint everywhere. That man takes a car to the club. Second, diet. Your brain runs on glucose, that's sugar. But it's not as easy as chugging a 2-liter and becoming Megamind. I found that eating foods with a high glycemic index, these are foods that raise blood glucose quickly, crushed my ability to focus. I would crash and I'd have no energy. So I'd plan my day around that. I like to get work done in the mornings. So I'd eat foods with a lot of fats and proteins in the morning, and I'd save the carbs for dinner because I'm mentally useless after 8 p.m. anyway, so a crash doesn't matter. All this is to say your focus depends on a lot of things. Detoxing from multitasking was a really good start for me, but it wasn't a magic bullet either. Diet, bedtimes, wake-up times, exercise, supplements, medications, all of these things impact your ability to focus. And we're currently working on research for a lot of those. Of course, we post all the results right here, so if that's something you're interested in, then subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting us. So if you want to do this yourself, if you want to start building your own focus, take a month and stop multitasking. If you want to listen to music, you're only listening to music. If you want to watch TV, you're not also scrolling at the same time. And if you're working, you're working. You don't have to do this forever, right? Multitasking can be a good thing, like listening to music at the gym. But taking that month helps you break the addiction so that you can start to move forward. You're gonna keep practicing and you're gonna keep adjusting for what you need. This is a skill to be mastered, not a one and done checklist. Also, if you've ever tried to build your own focus in the past, or if you try any of this stuff, then leave a comment. Hearing your experiences is only gonna help everybody. I also want to acknowledge attention deficit disorders like ADHD. Now, I understand that it is wild of me to put this at the end of the video, but I'm going to pin a comment, okay? I don't have ADHD, and I think it would be incredibly cruel and irresponsible of me to insinuate that detoxing from multitasking like I did is some kind of cure for an attention deficit. It's not. I'm currently contacting universities and experts to help me create a more rigorous study specifically about building focus for those with ADHD, right? That's coming sometime in the future. But for right now, I cannot claim that this will help someone with ADHD. If you do have an attention deficit disorder, then please talk to a healthcare provider. I'm not a doctor. In any case, I do hope this was helpful. You can't do anything worthwhile without a little bit of focus. So building it is, in my opinion, never a bad thing. We're going to keep doing real research and bringing real science to the self-improvement world for men, because right now there is a ton of BS out there and I'm tired of it. Subscribe if you like the vision or if this was helpful at all, and thank you so much to everyone who has supported so far. I freaking love you. Oh yeah.